You're killing me. When I look around this room tonight, I don't see coaches. I don't see leaders. I see thousands of people who've made one extraordinary decision. You decided that another person's future mattered enough to be part of that. You chose to believe that one conversation, one relationship, one act of service could change the direction of another person's life. And because of that decision, millions of people are living healthier, stronger, more hopeful lives today. That is extraordinary. Standing here tonight, looking at all of you, is one of the most meaningful moments of my life. Not because we're unveiling a new brand, not because we're introducing a new name, but because tonight we're celebrating something so much bigger. We're celebrating a mission that has quietly unfolded while Nick was out doing that dance with all the people over the last 40 years. Some moments simply mark the passing of time. Others change the direction of history. I believe tonight is one of those moments. Not because we're becoming something different, but because we're becoming more completely who we have always meant to be. 25 years ago, none of us could have imagined this room. None of us could imagine this incredible community. You know, one of Nick's relatives was in here saying, my goodness, these people are banging down to get in here. That's because we have helped millions of lives be touched by ordinary people doing extremely deep human change. But I think if there's one thing I've learned over these past 25 years, it's this. Never underestimate what can happen when ordinary people unite around an extraordinary purpose. More than 25 years ago, I was practicing this thing called critical care. Every day, I had the privilege of standing beside remarkable physicians saving lives. But every day, I found myself asking a very different question. Not, how do we become better at treating disease? But what if we could help people create health before disease ever took hold? That question has changed the very trajectory of my life because it led me to the realization that has guided everything I've done ever since. Health isn't something we find. Health isn't something we buy. Health isn't something we wait for. Health is something we create. One choice, one habit, one relationship, one day at a time. Back then, it sounded pretty radical. People would scratch their head and say, you're doing what? Today, science is confirming what many of us believed long before it could be explained. Our daily choices shape biology. Our habits influence metabolism. Our relationship influences our resilience. Our environment influences our health. But perhaps the most important is our belief about what's possible shapes our future. Hope has become evidence. For years, we believed healthy habits could transform lives because we watched it happen. Today, we understand why. Science didn't replace that hope, it reinforced it. But ideas alone never change the world. People do. And before anyone else believed in that vision, one person did. My wife, Lori. Lori became our very first health coach, not because she wanted recognition, not because she wanted a title, but she loved people. She didn't see patients, she saw possibility. She saw that behind every diagnosis, behind every number on the scale, behind every setback was a human being whose story wasn't finished. someone whose future could still be rewritten. That spirit became the heartbeat of everything we built. And as I stand here tonight, I still feel and hear that heartbeat. I hear it every time a coach believes in someone before they believe in themselves. I hear it every time someone refuses to give up another person. I hear it every time one conversation changes the direction of one life. Because that's what you do. You don't simply transfer information, you transfer belief. And sometimes belief changes a life before anything else does. People often thought we were building a weight loss company. We weren't. Weight was never the destination. It was the doorway. Creating health was always the mission. Transformation was always the vision. The world has changed. Boy, did Nick do a great job on that? Man, has the world changed. But yet it stayed the same in so many ways, hasn't it? We're gullible as hell. Faster than any of us could have ever imagined. Our genes haven't changed. Human nature hasn't changed. Our need for purpose, our need for longing, our need for love and to be loved, those haven't changed. But our environment has changed drastically and dramatically. We're surrounded by convenience, yet many people have never been less healthy. We're more connected through technology, yet many people have never felt more alone. We're overwhelmed by information, yet often starving from wisdom. We're living longer, but too often not living better. I learned that when defining health challenges of our generation is that health span and lifespan are way unmatched. Our environment is changing faster than our human biology can naturally adapt. But here's what gives me extraordinary hope. Today's science is caught up. Today we understand metabolism in a way we couldn't have imagined 25 years ago. We understand the importance of preserving muscle. We understand inflammation, sleep, stress, nutrition, movement, connection, and purpose. We understand that health is not one decision. It's the result of thousands of small daily decisions made consistently over time. We even have innovative new technology and some remarkable new medications that can help people begin a journey that once seemed impossible. All that is exciting. But here's something I never want us to forget. Technology doesn't transform people. Knowledge does not transform people. People transform people. Science gives us understanding, science gives us tools, science gives us possibilities, but human connection gives people the courage to begin. And the courage is where transformation starts. For 25 years, our real work has been that. Not simply helping people lose weight, not helping people simply learn new habits. Our real work has been helping another human being discover that they have more agency over their future than they ever believed possible. In fact, if someone asked me, what have you been really building over the last 25 years? I wouldn't say a company. I wouldn't say a coaching community. I wouldn't even say a health movement. I would simply say this. We've had the privilege of helping millions of people discover that they have more agency over their future than they ever believed possible. Because once a human being discovers that they have agency, everything changes. They stop seeing themselves as a victim and begin seeing themselves as a creator. Creator of better habits, creator of better health, creator of stronger families, more meaningful lives, creator of a different future, and that's one of the most hopeful discoveries that's ever been in healthcare. Because if people have agency, they have possibility. If they have possibility, they have hope. And when hope is supported by science, it becomes one of the most powerful forces in the world. Hope becomes action. Action becomes habits. Habits become identity. Identity changes lives. I've watched that happen not once, not hundreds of times, but millions of times. I've watched people who believed they were finished discover they were just beginning. I've watched people who believed they were broken discover they are capable. I've watched people who believed they had failed discover they simply needed a different path. They needed us. So when someone creates better health, they don't simply change their body. They become more present for their children, more engaged with their spouse, more confident in their work, more willing to serve. They don't just change themselves, they begin changing everyone whose life they touch. And when enough individuals' lives are changed, families change, communities change, and eventually, thank God, Nick, culture changes. That's why the might matters. Not because we're changing who we are, because we're revealing who we've been all along. I want to take a moment to thank the people who've had the courage to lead us into this next chapter. First, Nick, thank you for your vision. And your resilience, and mostly because of your partnership. Lisa, thank you for helping shape this remarkable evolution. Sakya, thank you for coming to elevate the science that supports our mission. Our whole corporate team, you guys are amazing. You're like family and will always be part of this mission. You matter. In fact, coaches, let them know they matter. And of course, to my team, Dan, starting with you, my friend. And our incredible field of leaders who are all in this room today. Too many to mention. Dan, Megan, Doug, Tia, Becca, Kevin, Gina, Adam, Chris, Melissa, Mike, Amy, Nancy, all of you. And mostly to every coach that's sitting in this room. Thank you. Thank you for believing when it wasn't easy. Thank you for serving when no one was watching. Thank you for proving that one caring human being can change another human being's life. That's leadership. It honors the past. It embraces the future. It never loses sight of the people we're here to serve. The world is ready for what we've been quietly building over the last 25 years. And I know we're ready too. A few months ago, my life changed again. I became a grandfather. And the first time I held little Rhea, that little girl, in my arms, the world became very quiet. Because suddenly, the future wasn't an idea anymore. It had a face. And I found myself asking a very different question. What kind of world will she inherit? Will she grow up believing that obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and so many chronic illnesses are simply an inevitable part of life? Or will she inherit a world where creating health becomes just as natural as treating disease once was? I believe that future is possible. Not because I'm an optimist, not because I ignore the challenges before us. I've learned it's possible because I've spent the last 25 years watching ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. I've watched moms and mothers reclaim their lives. I've watched fathers become role models again. I've watched marriages go stronger. I've watched people rediscover their confidence and their purpose and the joy. Not because their life suddenly became easier, but because they discovered they had more influence over their future than they ever had imagined. Amen. That's the miracle I've had the privilege of witnessing. Not that people lost weight, not that a number on a scale changed, but that a story changed. The story they believed about themselves. They stopped saying, this is just who I am. And they started saying, maybe, just maybe, I can become someone I never thought possible. That's transformation. That's what you guys have been doing. Every conversation, every coaching session, every act of encouragement. You've been helping people rewrite the story of their future. And when a person changes their story, they begin changing their family. When families change, communities change. When communities change, a nation can change. That's why I believe our legacy will not be measured by the number of pounds people lose, or even by the number of years they gain. Our legacy will be measured by the number of human beings who discovered they were more capable of becoming more than they ever possibly believed.
Yes.
25 years ago, Lori and I believed that helping one person create health could change one life. You proved that. Then we believed that thousands of people working together could transform communities. You proved that too. Now, we stand at the threshold of something even greater, because the future of health will never be created by one founder. It won't be created by one CEO. It won't be created by one company. It won't even be created by one scientific breakthrough. The future will be created one conversation, one relationship, one family, one coach, one community at a time. The world doesn't need us because we have all the answers. The world needs us because every single day we remind another human being that their future is not predetermined, that their past does not have to define them, that they have more agency over their future than they ever believed possible. And that may be the greatest gift one person can give to another. So tonight, as we begin this next chapter, I don't want you leaving here simply excited about a brand new brand. I want you leaving here with a renewed sense of purpose, because every conversation you have, every life you touch, every person you encourage helps shape the future we're building together. And I hope years from now, when our children and our grandchildren look back at this moment, they won't remember it as the night we introduced a new name. I hope they'll remember it as the night a community together we accepted responsibility to help humanity create health. And in closing, 25 years ago, we believed health could be created. You proved it. Tonight, we invite the world to believe it too. Not because of a company, not because of a product, not because of a breakthrough, but because millions of ordinary people are capable of extraordinary things when they discover that they have more agency over their future than they ever believed possible. This is the future we were meant to build. Let's build it together.